Dummy Switch Pod, the boys are back. How are you, Chris?
Oh. Eish. I'm
We
not
were
good.
wrong. We were wrong. Let's address the first thing. The elephant in the room. We were wrong. We thought the
Yeah.
Stormers would be taking it, but unfortunately, that's not how it went.
Yeah. Look, it's how it went. Yeah. How are you, man? How are you, man?
Look. I'm more disappointed for the Stormers than anything. Good,
Yeah.
good win for Munster. The
Yeah.
fans, they came out. They
Yeah.
did what had to be done.
Yeah.
And the players did what had to be done for them.
Mm. We saw the power of the Euro come into play there. Let's be honest, in terms of the fan support, which I think, was good to see. You'd like to see that as well on the other side, but it's yeah. But yeah, in terms of the rugby, Munster, we said that it was going to be a dogfight. They were going to make it a dogfight, and it was. And for me, the Stormers couldn't get out of the dogfight. It's not
Yeah.
like they weren't opportunities where they could score, because they made it into their 22 numerous times. They didn't convert, So yes, good win for Munster, because they kept the Stormers in the dogfight, and they also played pretty well, and they took their opportunities. Let's not take that away from them. They went the hard route and they did it. So you got to give them credit, because they'd been away.
Yep.
So you not take nothing away from them, but also ask a lot about the Stormers, in terms of even the energy, as well. It just, they didn't storm, they didn't storm. And I think credit to Munster, they denied them a lot of the counter-attacking opportunities, especially with the kicking. They're very good at their kick chase, denying them, putting a lot of pressure there. And that aspect of the Stormers game, they couldn't get going. But they still, couldn't convert that continuity within the 22 getting there, because they work so bloody hard to get there, and then they don't score. Get penalty, use possession. That's where the game was.
That's the thing. They had,
to...
like you said, they had their chances, and they were looking for that spark, and the spark just never came. If you look at the meeting they had last time, basically the same thing was happening, where they're knocking and knocking and knocking, and then I think it was Van Heerden, he got his hands through a tackle and popped it to Malherbe. It was just that extra bit of creativity, that extra bit of fight that, and a lot of the time Munster were actually shutting them down in the 13 channel, where where that killer pass. There's times where Damien Veloso had it, and it was just, you need that killer pass, and then they shut him down. Big hits as well. Fekitoa left his mark on Deon Fourie. And I think, especially at the breakdown, Deon Fourie didn't have the effect that he had on other matches and on other teams. But I think at the breakdown, this is also where the game was lost for the Stormers. Because the Stormers, they were just reloading most of the time. And when you're reloading and you're not contesting for the ball, and Munster getting to go forward, you're not meeting them in collision. It's you're just getting run back.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? And we spoke about that coming around the corner. If they allow Munster to get a roll on, that is going to be something that Dobson would be worried about from a defensive point of view. And it just couldn't affect that. They couldn't, and they really took Deon Fourie out the game. Made sure that he couldn't have that stopping effect, because he's usually the one that would stop the bleeding, when needed. And yeah, it's, again, you'd have to give credit to the Munster pack, it's just, they've gone the hard route all the way, and it was a big ask for them, and they answered the questions. For me, it's just more, like you said, it's disappointing, man, with the Stormers, because it is all there, it was all there. And even the scoreline, for me, if you look at the potential opportunities they created by getting into the 22 and not converting those visits, it's just on a different, maybe a different day, yes, but then the other aspect is, different ideas on attack. Surely there would have been more creativity around, okay, how do you break this wall down? Because
that's that spark that
if
I'm
you,
talking about.
yeah,
That's the spark that
you
I'm
know,
talking about. And there were criminal activities like Herschel Yankees kicking the ball away on halftime when you don't have advantage. And that is, if we're going to talk about test rugby, who needs to go to the World
yeah,
Cup, that will lose you a game.
yeah,
That will,
yeah, and
that will
well,
lose you a game.
well, they did in a way, it contributed, I guess.
And I mean, even at
So,
that stage, if we go back to it, at that point, it was 7-12. You could have kicked that over. You go into halftime 10-12 down. It's not a bad score. Especially
mm,
when that first half you were really under the pressure.
mm, mm, mm. Yeah, but I think it just begs the question, is it like it was just one of those games where this time around they were awful. Is Munster one of those teams for the Stormers now that they just they can't really figure them out, or they give them a tough time, just like they are for
I
the
think it's
Bulls.
both.
If it's a combination, right,
Yeah.
of a lot of those things, because it was an unstormers like performance. If we're gonna be honest, we saw a bit of flashes, but yeah, it was just too ordinary for them. You don't want to question, attitude, but energy wise, maybe mental fatigue. We don't know how they couldn't put it together, and especially against Munster. Looking at learning from previous games, what are they missing about this team? It would be maybe a question as well for the coaches.
My thing is, obviously there's several factors. The pitch obviously being one of them, which
Mm.
was in Munster's favor, and it did slow down a bit of their Stormers attack. There was also, with that cover defense, they were slipping and sliding. It's not
Yeah,
it suits one team more than it suits the other team. But besides that, guys just got outplayed. Dan
yeah,
Duplessis, I saw a few people saying that he had a good game. I thought Frisch, the outside center for Munster, I thought he really showed both Stormers centers up, even
yeah.
Fekitoa.
They were physical. They were dominating them. Even physically, they looked like they were being bullied. If we're being honest. That's why I say we don't want to question attitudes. We don't know what is it about this team that they can't figure
They
out.
got outplayed.
You know,
They just got outplayed.
it's
They look like
just
better. They just look like better ballers. Crowley even. They just look like better ballers. That's the only thing. You can say
yeah.
no, the effort, the attitude. No, these guys are just good.
Yeah, I guess so. But the reason why I'm saying that is because of the raps that I personally put on the Stormers. For them getting there, working through their little slump, and
Yeah.
then and things working out in their favor, and then getting to the to host the final. And that's why I'm saying that is that I mean there's things that you yes, they got outplayed, definitely, right, but it's the why. For me, how is that happening? What are they? That's what I'm saying. Is it, or what are they missing, or what are they not doing that they're doing better? That's my excuse for them. That's my excuse for them, because obviously, you're not gonna. There definitely was effort. They worked bloody hard to get into the final. So and also to not wilt, because maybe many other teams would have wilted under that sort of things not working out for you, but they still fought on and they still had a chance, but it just didn't fall in their favor. And how it ended was how the match was going, getting to the 22 turnover. That was the story of the game for the Stormers.
Yeah, even from a coaching perspective, you knew going in, I highlighted it last week that the Maul was going to be an area of concern. I think that's where Munster got 2 or 3 of their tries the last time. Same thing happened here. The structure, how they're going to pull you one way, pull you the other way. These things are coming. And then
that's what I'm saying. What are they missing?
That's what I'm saying. So these are elements of coaching. These are purely coaching questions, not down to the players. Those ones, it's up to Tabo. I think even substitutions where I commended him previous week to say it was good that he kept Taimani on. I felt Taimani could have gone longer in this game, and he maybe could have subbed off Dion Free before Taimani.
Yeah, also that, but the situation, guess, yeah, just too much. Munster they're just too good on the day for them, just too good, and they wanted it more. You could see in their intensity, they kept it up. The whole 80 didn't look like they were about to drop off, but they also looked like if the Stormers, you were just like almost waiting for them to get their act together in that game.
Yeah.
It's just like you're like, okay, any moment now, they're gonna, and it just didn't happen because as much as Munster, yes, they outplayed them, but there was just those moments for the Storm, they just weren't there, and it didn't go their way a lot of the times. But yeah.
But yeah, let's not write the boys off as we do.
Oh no, they'll come back again.
In SA Rugby.
They'll come back again. It's learnings. They'll come back again. Now they will know they have to go do it that side. So yeah, let's look forward to the next season.
Yeah, even from a Bok perspective, guys, we can't throw away, except for Herschel Yankees. We can throw him away, but the other guys, the Auries, the Dwebers, the Loboks, I don't think think at this stage we can throw them away.
No, true. There's still a long road ahead. It's World Cup is this year. It's gonna be different. So we gotta keep everybody interested.
Yeah, and Boks are getting closer and closer. It's going to be more of a talking point. Another Bok in the news, Nkosi. Cryptic IG post.
Pip. I said it last time. Pip. Pip.
Yeah, the problems in Pretoria. I mean, if we're being honest, I think it's a shot at Jake. I think it's a shot at the Bulls. But at the same time, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, look, he needs to. I think for him, look, if he's looking for an exit or greener pastures, maybe it's good for him. And I mean, it's been said already. He's been told basically via fit. In not so many words. In not so many words. So I think, yeah, he must just like focus on his career and just try and get to a place where he can. Be the player that made him, and not at the Bulls, because
I think a further statement from the Bulls is they just signed Sergio Peterson, so I think that's
yeah, it didn't work out. It didn't work out, so it's okay. We'll see how the Pips get sorted out. That's that. At the end of the day, the results are going to speak. And yes, fine. It's Currie Cup now. Maybe things are going to look. There's going to be painting over some cracks, but yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Currie Cup, a few games this week. I think this is a nice time in the tournament where you get to revisit it after it's been going for some time and all some URC players back.
Yeah, and I think coming up for me, the big one is the Sharks Lions. I think that's an exciting fixture for me. And also Pumas Cheetahs obviously, but Sharks Lions, I'm looking to see.
Yeah, I think it's a short one this week. Not much to say. Where
look, we stumped, man. I mean, I won't lie. I'm stumped. I just. My heart was pounding so bad. Like, I was just like, I couldn't believe it. But I was so heartbroken, and I'm not even a Stormers supporter, but just how it just, but yeah, it is what it is, and it's okay. We'll come back again. And they will again.
Too. Any closing remarks from you?
No, look, Sharks Lions, look forward to that. So that's how we move on. Let's go
That's how we move. URC, you know, it's done and dusted. It's over already. We don't need to revisit that thing. It's done. It's done.